Hello and welcome all. First of all, I'm going to give you some introductions to our Boost in Efficiency and Performance webinar. So first of all, there's me. I'm James. I'm the account manager at Meditech. Hopefully, some of you will have seen me by now, and I'm looking forward to seeing the rest of you as soon as I can. And we also have Yehuda and Yael at AimBetter, and we're going to hear from them shortly, and I'll give them a bit of an introduction about their product. Today we're going to talk about services from Meditech, and they're all about helping you keep up to date and keeping your software moving forward. Then we're going to hear about AimBetter, which is part of that process and what it can do for you and how it can help you. Of course, we'll have a section for questions, and please make use of the Q&A box during the webinar as you normally would. But as last time, only a few slides just to keep me on track more than anything else. We're going to share about the Meditech maintenance package. So we've had a lot of interest with people I've spoken to about the ability to plan costs and keep up to date. Of course, we have the standard, the lovely Cherry and the team. We've got a new member of the team and we're investing in that capacity all the time. Talking to Mayor the other week, he's keen to give back and show value for your maintenance charges. It also gives you access to the bug fixes and updates, of course. And in addition to this, we have our first package, which is Bronze. It's the simplest. It's really just your SSL certificate taken care of. So no more worrying about when it expires, ordering it, etc. It's all taken care of by Keith and the team. Then we go on to Silver Option 1. It's been described as a no-brainer by one customer that I have on it. She's very keen on keeping it moving forwards. And what it does, it guarantees you upgrades once a year for a fixed fee. We do an upgrade on your text server, allow you that time to test. And remember, we're doing it every year. So this is incremental and no huge jumps that some of you may have gone through. And it's a lot easier and less fraught if you carry on that process. When you're happy with that testing, we do an out of hours upgrade to live. And what you get is great new features. We're just getting to version 22 of the product, and every upgrade adds new functionality. It gives you access to the AimBetter product, more of which later, and it gives you those predictable costs. It's the same fixed fee, so you know what you're going to be spending each year. And also, staff only see small changes and can adapt more easily. So if you have a huge jump, then that can confuse staff. But if you're just making those little changes, it makes life easier for them. It keeps you up to date with technology. So there's no panic over a browser or an operating system de-support. No need to call us last minute and be forced into doing something you're not happy with. So for most people, it includes updating them to the latest version of the software from where they are on now, but we will provide you with a detailed quote if you're interested. Silver Option 2, that's a little bit different. It's about keeping your business up to date with the software. And it gives you a manager on site once a month and pushes forward ongoing improvements. So it optimizes software for your whole organization. That project manager will talk about what you want to do that month and how you want to move it forward. And it's really making the most out of your software and keeping you on that journey. Again, that's for a fixed fee each year with predictable costs, and again, with access to AimBetter. So go on to the Gold package. And as you can imagine, that gives you the advantages of both Silver Options 1 and 2 in one whole package for a reduced rate over the options taken separately. So that's the maintenance packages we wanted to talk about. So at this point, I'm going to hand over to AimBetter. And as I said, limited access with both the Silver and Gold options to AimBetter. And we're going to hear from, if we just go to the next slide, please, Jack. We're going to hear from Yehuda, who's the CEO at AimBetter, and Yael, who's the head of help desk and DBA support. So she's right at the grassroots and can tell you what it's all about. So over to you guys.
Thank you, James, and good morning or afternoon to everybody. And thank you for joining our global webinar today. My name is Yehuda Lasri, and I am the CEO and co-founder of AimBetter. And now, I will give you a brief of introduction to AimBetter. AimBetter make your business run smoothly. AimBetter is a priority monitoring with advanced DBA services. AimBetter is a service that automatically analyzes the performance of the SQL Server application system. Just like a 24/7 DBA expert, combined with a free online consulting support and a professional DBA team. Few words about us. We founded in 2015. We're based in Ashkelon, Israel. We got more than 660 customers and above. Our daily duty is more than 1,500 SQL Server worldwide, with more than 30,000 databases that monitor 24/7 and maintained by us. Our customer is now from 12 different countries. I want to show up a little bit of our big customer worldwide. And now let's talk about the problem. You know that employees earning in an average £60 a day. So in the numbers, how is that if the test second is waiting for getting some response time for, let's say, 100 times a day? So as a company, you pay £450 a day plus the damage cost for the loss of operation. You know, but it's 10 seconds. And what's happening if it's 3 minutes and less people? So for that, you're going to pay £7,200 a day plus the damage cost for loss of operation. We don't invent it, by the way. Also, Forrester Consulting talk about it with the latest article that service outage event can cost companies millions per year. And if you talk about companies that deal with the priority, so companies that between 100 to 400 employees, it's going to cost for a year between 80,000 to 300,000 pounds a year of loss. So first of all, we try to figure it out and save you money. The second problem that we deal with, it's typically the way that you solve these challenges today. You got your team, it's all started with some users that complain, get the managers, and then, you know, you start to operate. In some time you operate Metatech, the product managers of priority. You may operate a DBA. I think all the time you operate a system guy, and it's always got the user that, you know, check thing and see if it's fixed or not. So all of this process, we're going to fix it to you. How are we going to do it? Actually, we make priority application run faster by watch and analyze with the AimBetter all the relationship and dependencies of your IT environment, not just database. We pinpoint to the exact root source of SQL Server and priority performance problem in real time. You don't need all of them. We send an alert for all inconsistency. Everybody sure and everybody know where is the problem. We enable rapid problem identification to take an action and boost performance, get you the minimum time to solve and back to work. The monitoring maintain database efficiency and save time and money. I think we're most valuable to an SMB without a DBA team, or to ISV with a solution based on SQL Server and MSP, like Metatech. Above of the solution, I think the most important thing that you don't buy a product or a solution, you got a support layer and NOC team as part of the solution. Guys, we cover today Windows servers, including the application server, including the IIS that it's part of the priority API and websites. We most common in ERP companies worldwide. We also support cloud like Azure and AWS and RDS of Microsoft. And lately we get inside also to the world of Oracle. And what we try to do is end-to-end solution and solving SQL Server problem, but mainly slow performance of users. With our TBA team expert, you can get it on demand and it saves you lots of things. And now, thank you. And now I will like to introduce you to the AimBetter Head of Help Desk and DBA Support, Yael Sapir.
Thank you, Yehuda. Good morning and good afternoon, everyone. My name is Yael Sapir, and I'm the head of AimBetter support team, and I'm also working as a DBA. And I'm going to do for you a presentation today about AimBetter tool. Working with AimBetter database monitoring tool. So AimBetter is our solution that we provide. And usually, probably you have sometimes some errors while working, or there were some issues that you couldn't know how to solve fastly. And this is why we have AimBetter solution. So I want to show you how me and our support team and also Meditech can use this system tool AimBetter in order to make everything more simple. I'm asking myself, does the customer have a problem at this moment? How do I focus on one company's status? So using AimBetter tool, I know the answer. I know that out of 51 servers, there are 14 servers with a problem. And AimBetter tool prioritizes for us what are the most problematic servers at the moment. And this is why it's more easy to me to know the status of all of the companies that I manage at this moment. How can I tell if a priority user has a process running too slowly? How can I tell the status of active screens at the moment? So using AimBetter tool, I know several things. In this example, I can see that there is some employee that was running a process priority screen over than 40 seconds. I can see that the client he was using was a web client, which means that he was using web application. AimBetter detects for me that the login name of the employee was Alex, and he was running a priority screen called melting foam. I can also know that AimBetter identified to me that this query is not optimal, and we have recommendations to improve this query's performance, and I can also know the server status at the moment. All of these details I get only from using one tab from AimBetter system. Can I distinguish between priority screens? So the answer is yes. And using AimBetter tool, I have additional layer of data. We also have the data about the SQL level, but we can see that we have also data about the web application. So over here, we can see that there is one employee that was running some order screen, and we can have the details about the screen that he was running. I can also know the exact employee name. I know that she's called Moran. And knowing that, I know what is the priority screen she was running at the moment. What could be the cause of a slowness? Probably you might know that there are a lot of causes that might be to a slowness, but using AimBetter, if I know that AimBetter detects for me that there is overload on the server, I know that out of hundreds or even thousands of queries, I can tell the exact queries that are overloading my system. I can tell that this select query, for example, was causing the slowness to this server. If an error is received, how do I identify the problem? What could be the reason for the problem? So, looking at this example, I can tell we have some error of duplicate key exception, and I know that it happened hundreds of times. Yet, imagine yourself if a user that is receiving this pop-up message while is working with priority application, and if it's not notifying, for example, someone from the IT team, someone from the priority development that is having this message at the moment, probably I wouldn't have known that this error has existed. But using AimBetter, I know that this event has happened, and I can know the details about the event. I know that someone called Lizette was using priority application from her own computer, and she was doing an update process. And I know the exact message that she has received, and I know that it happened a lot of times. And all of these details I know only from using AimBetter tool. What is the added value of AimBetter? AimBetter helps IT team and DBA improve queries performance. It provides us a fully detailed picture, login, screen names, query codes, and error messages. AimBetter Automated. It displays the query's execution plan, the client CPU, and the client process of the query. AimBetter offers web monitoring that detects the true login name of the employee. And probably without using AimBetter, I wouldn't have known these details at all. AimBetter makes it more simple to me. How does AimBetter benefit my organization? User. AimBetter can improve your work experience by providing you tools for quick and thorough troubleshooting. A user, it might be anyone. It might be an employee that only wants to see that his own screens are doing good and his performance is okay. It might be someone from the IT team. It might be someone like, for example, a DBA that only wants to do maintenance and know what he can improve in the server's performance. It even might be a manager of a company. Anyone can use this tool, AimBetter, in order for their own needs. Business flow. AimBetter optimizes the organization's operational plan. Flexibility and availability. AimBetter is a web-based tool which allows monitoring from any machine connected to the company's network. This means several things. First, we can monitor both SQL server, we can monitor terminal servers and application servers. AimBetter system is always available and monitors 24/7 and detects problems at the server if happen. With AimBetter, you have a peace of mind because AimBetter support team is also here for you. So our team can answer all of your questions. Saving time and money. AimBetter helps IT teams focus on the main business instead of challenging troubleshooting. Essential details for using AimBetter: your username and the support team contact details. That's all you need in order to start using AimBetter. AimBetter's approach. Online troubleshooting. AimBetter scans your system continuously and uses more than 100 metrics. The tool provides the problem's cause. Reducing downtime. Identifying problems immediately in order to reduce downtime events. A tool that notifies both by email and application if there is any problem. No alert, all is good. Maintenance. Maintenance is easier when bottlenecks are identified. This means that if you want to know what you should improve in the server's performance, using this tool, AimBetter makes everything more simple. Let's see how it looks. I want to tell you now a true life story I had with a customer when I helped him while using AimBetter tool in order to solve his problem. So This is the morning this customer has woken up into. You can see that there is an alert about disk available space and the disk is full. This means that he was in the middle of a downtime when we were speaking about this problem. I use AimBetter system in order to start to investigate the problem. So first, I can tell that the day before the alert that you've seen before, we can see that it started the day before, which means that if this user was using the automatic notifications that AimBetter is having, probably he would have known about this issue even before it was the downtime. I use AimBetter tool in order to know what was the reason that the disk was full. And I found out that the reason is a TempDB database file that was overgrown. Out of many causes that can be, with AimBetter, I found the exact reason for this problem. But I want to help the customer to prevent this issue from happening again. So I use AimBetter in order to know. And you might be imagining to yourself that there are probably a lot of screens that were running the previous day, and we want to find the exact priority screen that caused this issue. And here is the answer. I can tell that the day before the event, there was a priority screen running for more than 3 hours. I know that this exact screen has affected the TempDB file to be overgrown. AimBetter detected for me the true login name, Michael Amgadi, and I know he was running a priority screen called Aging Accounts by Branches. I can also tell by using AimBetter tool that this query is not optimal, and I can know the server status at the moment this query was running. And that's it, guys. So thank you for listening. And now I want to forward the presentation to my CEO and co-founder of AimBetter tool, Yehuda Lastly.
Thank you, Yael. And now for a brief summary of AimBetter and the advantage of using our product for your company. In the meantime, guys, if there is any question to fill in the Q&A box, so please that we can review them and talk about them in the end. So AimBetter is an end-to-end DBA services and beyond. The service is based on an exclusive AI-driven and automatic DBA SaaS solution. We proactively analyze 24/7 the SQL Server to detect an issue before they are seen. Beyond the alerts, we pinpoint you to the exact root cause of problem, down to the screen user level. We're doing that by monitoring all the IT layer, DB, operation system, application code, IIS, and user environment. Our customer report on reducing dramatically the resolution time of performance problems. I think the benefit is that we have a full cloud-based, so you don't need to invest in a local server or paying for a repository of SQL Server or other infrastructure. For your MSP, Metatech, he can access to all of his customers through a single monitor in a zero time and know the problem before they occur. And for you, you got the mobile application monitor. Click, check, and get back to your business. I want to end with a little note. Healthy, worry-free, and IT operation. Guys, cut your resolution time. Alert on an issue before they are seen. By that, improve the performance and the response time. Get yourself a DBA capability without hiring a DBA. You do the perfect by 360 degrees view for all management. Save the needs for additional hardware storage. Nobody gonna decrease it after it solves a problem, but spare it. Increase the user proactivity and reduce the cost of maintenance and cloud costs. And get yourself a professional DBA services at a fraction of the price. Thank you. And thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for your time. And we AimBetter look forward to have you as a client. And now, James, we'll conclude. And once again, thank you, MetaTech.
Thanks both. That's really useful. That detail that you gave, Yael, really helpful to everybody to understand what we're actually doing. We'll just get Jack to get back in with the slides. So that gives you an idea of what AimBetter do, really good from all levels, and what's it all about. And just to give you an idea of its purpose and how it's helped our customers, we recently had a customer who was suffering from poor performance. And as Yehuda has mentioned, remember, this can affect the whole organization, not just one person. And huge number of man hours and costs. Remember that costing that Yehuda's put out for us. There was nothing wrong with the drives or the work the customer was doing, but AimBetter was able to identify the actual processes that were running, not just what drive had a problem, and able to do that in minutes. So there was no long investigation looking at various places and trying to work out what the issue was. So able to identify it in minutes, and therefore able for somebody to fix it within minutes. So how does that all link into Priority and MetaTech? So you rely on us at MetaTech as your priority experts. We manage it and we understand you and your business. And there's your IT team. They understand your tech platform. They're the experts in IT, in PCs, in servers, in memory. And what that can do, that can leave a gap. And that used to be filled by a full-time DBA that you used to have to pay for. They'd be an expert on the tables, in the software, the servers, extracting data, making improvements, etc., etc. But who can afford one of those these days? And with improvements in reporting and user interfaces, who really needs one anymore? But that really does leave a small gap that they used to cover. AimBetter covers that gap in between Priority and MetaTech and your IT team, and optimizes performance and eventually saves you money. So moving on, do we have any questions? I'm just going to look at the quick Q&A. And if you just bear with me, I will just have a look down at these. So we've got a question from Don about security for yourselves. How is AimBetter's product secured?
Okay, thank you, Ron. We have, by the way, an ISO 27001. We are really protected cloud-based over Cloudflare. We have also the certificate of Microsoft Azure Marketplace, and we stand there. And we hold also the certificate of the GDPR. And we lately was passed a PT for a big hospital in Israel. And we hold all priority, cloud in part of the time. So I think customers should be comfortable with that.
Thanks for that. The ISO 27001 is a big thing for a lot of our customers, I know. So we have Rob, and he's asked what resources are needed for AimBetter's product. I think, Yael, you sort of touched on this. Perhaps we could expand on it a bit more.
You mean, by the way, about the requirement? So
yes,
basically, how we build the agent of AimBetter, it means, the service that you install on the customer environment, is that all the information and aggregation and analytics made in our side. The agent is only collecting information. So you can install it on the SQL server, or maybe on the application server, or maybe on other computer. It takes I don't know, less than one point of CPU, you know, one percentage, and 50 megabyte or kilobyte of memory, and that's all because everything is on cloud. We just collecting information, you know, that's all.
Thanks. Another one from Claire. As a CEO, how fast can I receive support from a DBA, and in case that's needed, from AimBetter? So how quickly do we turn this around?
Oh, okay, Claire. So basically, we're dealing today with I think more than 600 customers. That most of them it's a CIO, and part of them also got IT managers. So we have packages that we can proactively connect to the servers and fix it without getting into the trouble of your user. And there is other packages that you get an open ticket and you get a DBA on demand in a part of the best effort or SOS. Basically, you can use it. It's a usage thing. You don't need to pay it all the time.
Thank you. And I've got one from Mark. If AimBetter identified a problem that resides with standard priority rather than a customization, what's Meditech's policy for actually addressing that problem? I think I'll just cover that with you directly, Mark, if that's okay. But yes, we will talk to you later about that. And I've also got another question, which is, what is the main difference between other tools like RedGet, Quest, PRTG, and Zabbix? I'm guessing those are your competitors. So why AimBetter?
Okay, by the way, good question, and we work on that all the time. First of all, you get in one glass all the information in all aspects. I mean, if you got, let's say, some antivirus that's scanning your file, so you can see it on the query screen. It's mean while the query is running for 4 or 5 seconds, you can see the antivirus is scanning the file. So getting it in one glass of eyes, I think this is our most benefit. The second thing that customer got in a different monitoring tool, many modules. It means it can be like a SolarWinds in many modules, but not in the same tool and not in the same screen. And for the MSP, as a Meditech, you don't need to connect as a VPN, even to the customer. You just get it on mobile or get it on a website, and in zero time, you get the real-time activity. So I think this is the most thing that the other don't have yet.
Let's go back to Mark and actually Helen. Now we've got a couple of people that want to know the answer, so we'll tackle it now. If it's a problem with standard priority, we'll then be able to raise it with priority themselves, and that will mean that they're better informed and help them to resolve it faster. It will just help all the way along the line. So that's how that process would work. Thank you for that, and thanks for answering those questions for us. Just to move on to the next slide, please, Jack. So yes, we're going to talk about the previous webinars. Obviously, we've got those on our website and the YouTube channel. This will be added onto that. We have got a previous one on the app. A lot of people have been interested in that from when I've been out visiting people. It sounds like a really good solution for a lot of people. We've still got one on hints and tips, which I think is really useful, at least. And this will join them. So you can send the link to anyone if you need to justify the spend. If you're thinking of doing it and you want to communicate that to somebody, that's quite a good way. You can just say, listen to the webinar, and that it will then understand what we're talking about. So call me if you'd like a quote for any of the packages or for AimBetter itself, if you want to take that up. Coming up, we're going to talk about Docker data management. Probably have something on version 22 features and perhaps reporting. But if you've got any ideas of webinars that you'd like to see in the future, then do let me know. Thank you to Yehuda and Yael for coming along and explaining what AimBetter is about. And thanks to everybody for listening. And I'll see you shortly. You'll get the recording in your inbox soon. All right, thanks. Bye-bye.
Bye.